it is exhausting. I can honestly sit up there and try to and admit that when we would go out to sea, I would be happy because the only person I had to worry about was myself. It is a level of comfort and it's a level of freedom. And me and my friend, he's a man, we were just having this conversation because I'm an entrepreneur now. I'm a personal chef, working on currently have a six-figure business. I'm trying to get my business to seven figures. I'm trying to get my business to eight figures. I would not be able to move and navigate in my business like I do now if I had a husband or a partner in a relationship that lived with me full time. It would be impossible.
Can I ask a quick
I
question?
disagree with that.
Can I ask a quick question? I just got one quick question.
Okay,
So,
hold on.
so,
For the
so,
person that said they disagree with that, do you run a six-figure full-time business? Yes or no?
I work a job, raise kids, and run a business, and I have a
Okay.
couple of
Do no no no
hustles.
no 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 no
oh,
no no. You listen to what I'm saying. Do you run a full-time solopreneur
I
six-figure
run a
business?
full time business. I run a full time business. It doesn't matter whether it's six figures or three figures. Running a business is
It
running a business.
does.
It's
It
hard work.
does. It
It
does.
no.
I don't think that's fair to say
I'm
that
going to
either.
disagree with that as well.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
not
here's my
fair.
thing right here.
I'm going to disagree with that as well.
Okay, well
But
put it this
what
way.
I am
Put
going
it
to
this way.
say is
Put it this way. Put it this way. Because hold on. Because when it comes out down to it, I was talking. You interrupted. Let me finish.
why I
When it
disagree
comes
with
all
that
down to it,
initially who I spoke.
okay. But the thing about it is, the level, what it takes to even be able to get to a six-figure business in less than a year, the amount of time it takes, the amount of hours it takes, the amount of marketing, the amount of everything that it takes. You don't know because you could if
I've
you're
done
not
that.
there.
I've done that. I have done that. I've run
Okay,
six-figure businesses, and I've
okay.
done that in the
okay,
past, and I'm starting over again, and I'm on my way
okay,
to it again. So I do
okay.
understand
Well,
completely.
listen.
Let me.
Okay. Well, listen. I'm a personal chef. So my level of business and what I do and the personalization and the running to cities and picking up checks and doing walkthroughs in event spaces and picking up groceries and prepping and doing all this different stuff is completely different than what other people might be doing.
Well, I've been a chef as well. I
Okay.
actually went to culinary school at the Illinois Institute of Art, and I've run
Okay.
restaurants. And
Okay.
I've done business, but not in the culinary field. But I've done
Okay.
business in real estate and built a
Okay.
six-figure business
Okay.
anyway.
Okay. Because I've
Um,
done many 36 and 48-hour days straight without any sleep.
I understand you. I
I
Okay.
don't
understand you.
like this.
I've
I
done
don't
that as
like this.
well. I've
Y'all
done
two
and
black women going back and forth about y'all businesses because one makes more. That's not
No,
okay.
Yeah, it doesn't.
it ain't even
That's
about the money
neither
to
here nor
me. Because
there.
even if I
But
didn't
you
have
the
the
one
Neither
business,
mentioned
nor
I
the
would
six
there.
figures. You
okay,
mentioned
but
the
what I'm
six figures.
okay,
Exactly.
You told her
okay.
business was less than
It doesn't
yours
make a
because
difference.
you're
I
making
didn't
more
tell her
money. That's
business
not
was less.
right.
What I said was the level of work and dedication and social media management and interviewing and talking on the phones and sending out invoices and traveling and shopping and doing all this stuff that it takes to get to that level. This ain't no side hustle. This is a full-time thing. I'm talking about the time commitment that it takes for you to get to that point.
I do all that too, but don't
I
make six
understand
figures. So
that,
you
and I
telling me my
wasn't
business
knocking
is
that,
less than?
and I was relating to it.
No, what I'm saying is for me to be able to get to that point where I've been, and I've only been in business since last November, took a lot of time, took a
And
lot
see,
of
this is what men have
dedication,
Can
a problem
took
with.
a
can
lot
I
of
can I
work.
can I can I ask a real quick question? So
Mm-hmm.
understanding that now, can you understand why men who are on that grind and that pursuit don't have as much time for their women now?
Um, yes, I can. I can relate
That's a
to
good
it.
question,
But the
Nick.
thing about it is, I can relate to it. But my thing is, I've always had that grind. So I just thank you. We're pretty much saying the same thing. That when you are out there grinding and you are out there getting yours in, it is you the last thing you want to do is come home and worry about what is somebody else going to eat, another adult going to eat. So
Some
You can't feed yourself. That's me. Like after I get home from a job, I don't want to have to look at you and you're looking at me like, what are we going to eat? Like, okay, or what am I going to eat? Like, okay, you're an adult, I'm an adult. You can't feed yourself. That's my thing. And I think that's what she's trying to say is that she wants a certain level of freedom. When I come home, there's no one here. My home is exactly how I left it when I come back.
That's a lonely road.
I'm gonna be real with you, and I hope this won't be taken the wrong way. Just off of based off this conversation, baby, I can see why you single. And
Oh, I know. No,
this
no, no,
is
no,
the
no, 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 no,
let me
no,
I
know
was
that
going to say
you
the
had
no,
same
this
no,
you
no.
thing.
had this
I don't want you
you
to say
stopped
that you can
talking
see
though. You
while I'm
just
single because I don't want you to say I can see why you're single. Because had I not packed my ex's stuff and put him out of my house, he would still be here.
That
that don't
doesn't
count.
validate
That doesn't
the
count.
fact that
That's
you're
what
single.
what I'm trying to tell you is you literally just belittled this
Saying I
woman
could,
who's
saying I
trying
could
to
have
get her foot into
somebody.
the game by using your milestones to belittle her. And then when she was trying to talk to you, you just constantly saying, okay, okay, okay. What kind of
My
communication skills
milestones,
is that? You
you
just
know
Yeah,
literally
what?
said that
you
you
were saying
said you
things like
made
little
six
side
figures.
hustles and this, that, and the other.
You
I'm not
belittled
shaming
this
anyone from them.
woman.
I'm not belittling her. Anyways,
It
like I
sounded
said,
that way. It
okay,
sounded that.
well,
Look what you're
well,
taking
if
that
it
way by more than
if
one
it sounded
person.
that way, if it sounded that way, I apologize. But this is also a struggle in
If
many
it's
of my
if it sound if it
relationships.
sounded if you feel like Miss Tyree has been condescending toward Miss Tranquilo, put a smiley face and put a sad face if you think not. Go ahead, Miss
Okay.
Tyree.
Like I said, I'm just trying, and this is also a problem too, because when it comes down to it, when it comes down to it, the reason why I struggle in relationships with civilians is because I'm very direct. I'm really forward. I'm really stern. Basically, I'm basically the way the military trained me to be when it comes down to communication. So when we communicated, we didn't, oh, well, no, we just said what we had to say and got it and kept it moving.
It's up to you to train yourself. It's up to you to know self and to make corrections with yourself as you see them as you see them fit. What I was trying to say that I never, ever, ever got out was I disagreed. You were saying that it's better this way to, hustle by, build this business and do this and work by myself and do this by myself. And, it would be worse with a man or a man will hold you back. But technically, the purpose of a relationship and a marriage is to build. So actually, your partner, your husband, your wife, your spouse is your teammate. They help you build. So they take part of the load. So if you're working building a six-figure business and you're doing this, this, and that, and your mate is doing this, this, and that to help that along, it's a lot easier than doing all that by yourself. A team is always better than one person. And I stand firm on that. Like a team is always better than one. Technically, how it's supposed to work is because people don't understand submission in relationships. Technically, how it's supposed to work, or traditionally how it works, is a man has a vision and he builds this, and the woman is to help.
Tradition for whom, though?
However,
Tradition from
I was I
whom?
was I wasn't finished. I was getting ready to say, however, these are things that we were taught by American society, which is not necessarily our own culture. But either way, it takes two. Black Wall Street wasn't built by just men or just women. Anything that we've had as a people, or people, period, across the globe, anything that anyone has, when you see the wealth in Asian families, you go to the beauty supply store, you see the husband in that store, you see the wife right there. When you go to the nail shop, and you see the husband owns that place and you see the wife right there doing nails. You go to the gas station, you see the Arab gentleman that owns the gas station, you see his wife or his kids right there. It takes more than one person to build an empire. Not saying that not one person can do it by themselves, but that's a lonely road. That's a lonely road, and that's how you keep yourself. That's how you keep relationships or finding someone to be in a relationship with, and that's how you keep marriage and things of that nature from happening, from standing on your own hill and your own mountain, and this is what I'm doing, and I'm doing this all by myself, and I'm struggling by myself, and that's what it is. And it really doesn't have to be that way. If you can bend just a little bit, if you can find someone with a like mind, you can build with them, and it'll be a lot easier for you.
I
Okay.
100% agree.
But I guess my thing is, like I said, traditional for who? That's what I wanted to say. Like I started off, like when we talked about emotional support, everything looks different for everyone. Emotional support for me might look completely different to someone else. And I think the
Fact.
thing that we do is we make the mistake of trying to marginalize or try to put certain things in a box and say, oh, this is the way that it should be. This is the way, things should go. So like, oh, traditionally, well, guess what?
Fact.
Traditionally, things haven't worked out for me. Traditionally, I've been raising myself since I was 16. So traditionally, I stepped up and took the role of my mother and my father and did what I had to do. I left home when I was 18 years old, and I've been on my own ever since. I'm 42. So traditionally, I shouldn't have had to do those things. Traditionally, I should have been able to inherit my family's land, inherit the
But
house,
let's not focus
be
on
able to do
tradition,
this.
because I actually wasn't focusing on tradition. I went back and hopefully you heard what I said, but it has nothing to do with tradition. I did make the comment of how things work traditionally, but I also intertwined the fact that things are different nowadays and people have to work things out the way they need to work them out. But the point was, it takes two, and it's easier with two.
Easier for who though? It might be easier for you with two, but what your easier for two looks like with being with a partner and having children is going to look completely different for me with me being someone who doesn't have children.
That's true, but assistance is assistance. Help is help.
Okay,
A mate
but
is
the
a
thing
mate.
about it is, okay, but what I'm saying is, if that's what it looks like for you, and if you feel like it's easier, then okay. But if me as a single woman without any children feel like I am okay with living by myself and building and getting myself to a certain place, because let's be honest, a man
That's has
or a woman,
nothing to do
if
with
you
the
call
point.
yourself a man or a woman, you should be able to stand on your own 2 feet, and then somebody should be able to come and you guys
Better.
make each other stronger together. But if I'm working
Exactly.
on me, but if I'm working on me and I'm getting my foundation straight and I'm focusing on being the best version of me by myself, what is wrong with that?
Everyone should do that. Everyone should work on themselves individually. That has nothing to do with being, well, it does have a lot to do with being in a relationship and finding a mate. Everyone should work on themselves individually. But at the same
Okay,
time, a team is a team, a team is a team, a marriage is a marriage, help is help, assistance is assistance. And
okay,
it's easier when you have a team, it's easier with people working together than it is with people working alone.
okay. But I have a team. I have a community. I have a village. They're just not living in my house. They're not just laying in my bed. They have their own they have their own place. And guess what? I have mine. So when we get together, we do our thing, whether it's platonic, whether it's sexual, whether it's with family, and we move on.
But marriage, but we're speaking about marriage and relationships, right? Is that
Okay.
that's
No,
what
we
this
were
is about?
talking about the young lady said that she literally likes coming home to her own empty house. That's what we were
No,
talking about.
I'm asking overall. Overall, is the underlying topic of this conversation relationships and marriage, or no?
I'll let the host answer that.
Yes, it is. So we'll go ahead and get back on topic. I hope y'all enjoyed those two going back and forth.